Alright, so I have this problem on the board. I haven't done a video in a long time and I wanted to try to do one again. So we have this new quiz, multiple radicals, and so we have these two radicals that look really similar. And what I want to do is reduce these and find the value of x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. And we have these four options. So gonna go to the whiteboard and I have the problem copied. So what I'm going to do to start, I'm going to look at the innermost radical. So I'm going to look at, what I'm going to look at is square root of 15 plus square root of 56. And what I want to do is I want to get this into a different form. So what I'm going to do is factor 56. We'll factor 56 as 4 times 14. So we can rewrite this as 15 plus 4 times 14. And that's going to allow me to take this 4 outside of the radical and write it as 15 plus 2 square roots of 14. And then the next step, it might not be obvious if you're not used to this, but this can be factored. This can be factored like this. Square root of 14 plus, we'll write it as the square root of 1, even though we know that's 1 squared. So notice that if you just distribute, multiply that out, you should get back to this. You should get 15 plus 2 square roots of 14. So for next we can do is we can basically cancel the square and the square root. And we're going to have this inner square root is going to be equal to square root of 14 plus 1. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue but working on x. So we're going to write x as 14. What do we have? I think it was 5. No, 14 plus 4. 14 plus 4 times the square root of 14 plus 1. And then we'll just distribute this 4. And we're going to have 14 plus, write this over here, 4 square roots of 14 plus 4 times 1 is 1. So we have a 4 here. So what we're going to end up with is 18 plus 4 square root of 14. And then I kind of want to repeat what we did up top here, and I want to get this to be a 2 so we can use the get it into a perfect square again. So let's see, if we if we separate this 4 out and we write it as 2 times 2, then we can move a 2 inside of the square root, and we're going to have 18 plus 2 square root of 56. But again, we found out earlier that 56 is actually 14 times 4. So actually we can end up doing basically the same thing. And we can rewrite this as 14 plus square root of 14 plus square root of 4. And then that's just going to be 14 plus, square root of 14 plus 2. Now, okay, so this is our value for x. Now we could repeat the whole thing for y, but if we go back and look at what y is, you notice it's the same thing except with some signs changed. And what that means, you can, I'm not going to go through all the steps, but you can do the same process. And what you will find out is that y is only going to differ by a sign. So y is just going to be square root of 14 minus 2. Okay, so we have a value for y. From here, it's actually pretty easy to solve because what the question asked for, just write this, the question asked for x squared plus y squared minus 2xy. Now we could square these out and that would work fine, but we can actually factor this as x minus y squared. That'll be the same thing, and that's going to be easier to calculate that way because now we can just substitute in our values for x and y. So let's do that. X is going to be square root of 14 plus 2 minus y is going to be square root of 14. We'll distribute the minus sign and make this a plus, right? Did I do that right? Yeah. And we'll square that. But actually, the square roots of 14 are going to cancel, and this is going to be 4. And we square 4, and we get 16. And that should be our answer. Let's check that. 16. Yes, and that's correct. Now there's a few different ways you could do this problem. You could actually, you don't necessarily have to reduce it all the way to x the way I did here. You could leave it. Let's do it a little differently. You could have got to this point right here, and we could find x squared. So let's just do that real quick and show that this will work the same way. So if we say x equals square root of 18 plus, what do we have? I can't see it. Plus 4 square roots of 14, then we can say that x squared is going to be 18 plus 4 square root of 14. But then, again, we know that y is just differing by a sign, so y squared is going to be 18 minus 4 square roots of 14. And then the only thing we need, so if we want to go back and use this equation without, instead of this, so we have our x squared, we have our y squared, and then we just need xy. So let's see, what is xy going to be? Xy is going to be the square root. We're just going to distribute. We're going to have 18 plus 4 square roots of 14 times 18 minus 4 square roots of 14. And we'll just do our distribution thing. And what's going to happen? We're going to have 18 squared is going to be 324. Whoops. 18 squared is going to be 324. The inner terms, this is a difference of square, so these terms are going to cancel 0, and we just need to do minus 4 squared is 16 times 14, but that's just going to be 224. And then 324 minus 224 is 100, and the square root of 100 is just 10. So then we can put all these things together. So then finally we want to find x squared plus y squared minus 2xy. And we have all those values up here. So x squared is 18 plus 4 square roots of 14 plus y squared is going to be, oh, I left out a 4 here. Minus y squared is 18 minus 4 square roots of 14. And then minus 2 times xy, which is 10. So now we're just left with a little computation. But this term and this term will cancel. 18 and 18 is 36 minus 20. 2 times 10. And then we get to our same answer, 16, which we chose right here. So that's all there is to it. There's a bunch of questions in here. I'll provide a link if you want to practice these. All the problems they're a similar type, but just different values, but they work pretty much the same way. I also outline in the help the basic method that you can use to solve these and reduce the radicals. So hope that was helpful, and I'm going to stop it right there. Thanks.